Jacob and Esau reunited. Jacob stayed with his uncle Laban for about 20 years. Then the Lord said to Jacob, "Go back to the land of your fathers, and I will be with you." Jacob's wives, Rachel and Leah, agreed to go to Canaan with Jacob. They got on their camels and took their herds with them. Jacob was in the hill country of Gilead when he met angels of God, so he named the place Mahanaim. His twin brother Esau was living in the land of Edom in the Seir mountains. Jacob sent messengers to Esau to say, "Your servant Jacob has been staying with Laban. He has cattle, donkeys, sheep, goats, and servants. He begs to find favor in your eyes." The messengers returned to report, "Esau is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him." Jacob was very frightened. He divided those who were with him into two groups, so that if Esau attacked one group, the other group might escape. Jacob prayed, "Lord, you told me to go back to my country and my relatives, and you would make me prosper. I am unworthy of your kindness and faithfulness. Save me from Esau, please, for I am afraid he will come and attack us. You have promised to make my descendants like the sand of the sea, which cannot be counted." Jacob then chose a gift for Esau: 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 female camels with their young, 40 cows and 10 bulls, and 20 female donkeys and 10 male donkeys. He put each herd in charge of a servant and set them off at intervals. When the servants met Esau, they reported who they were and who had sent them. "These are gifts sent to my lord Esau from Jacob, who is following behind us." That night, Jacob sent his family and possessions over the ford of the river Jabbok. He remained alone. A man came and wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower Jacob, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched. Then the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The stranger replied, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." Then he blessed Jacob. Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared." Jacob was limping because of his hip. He then saw Esau and his 400 men coming towards him. Jacob put the female servants and their children in front, Leah and her children next, and Rachel and Joseph in the rear. Then he went on ahead and bowed down to the ground 7 times as he approached his brother. Esau ran to meet Jacob and embraced him. He threw his arms around his neck and kissed him, and they wept. The servants, wives, and children of Jacob were introduced. "These are the children God has graciously given your servant," Jacob told his brother. "What's the meaning of all these flocks and herds I met?" asked Esau. "To find favor in your eyes, my lord," Jacob replied. Esau did not want the gift, but Jacob insisted. After that, Esau returned, thinking that Jacob would follow on later to join him in Edom. Jacob, however, went to Succoth, where he built a place for himself and made shelters for his livestock. From there, he moved on to Shechem, where he set up an altar to God. God then told Jacob to go to Bethel, the place where God had promised to look after him. Jacob obeyed and built an altar to God. He then told his family to hand over all their foreign gods and the rings in their ears. Jacob buried them under the oak at Shechem. God told Jacob his new name would be Israel, and he would give this land to him and his descendants, who would become a nation. Jacob then traveled south. As they approached Ephrath, his wife Rachel began giving birth to a son. Rachel died giving birth, but the baby survived and was named Benjamin. Rachel was buried at Ephrath, and Jacob set up a pillar above her tomb. Jacob now had 12 sons: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. Jacob then traveled to Mamre, where his father Isaac was living. When Isaac died, both Jacob and Esau mourned and buried him.